GM, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have Justin Sun apparently going to save the crypto markets. We've also got interest rate talk as well. And finally, Mt GOX, another failed deadline. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and we'll jump on in. So first thing to look at here, comedy from Mr. Justin Sun, aka His Excellence. Defending the crypto frontier with unwavering determination, Tron remains steadfast in safeguarding the future of digital assets. We've got to watch this one together because it is pretty hilarious. Painting himself as a superhero here. And you have to admire the fact he's kind of taking the piss a little bit, but also he has a big old ego here. In token 2049, as you came down the escalators, the main escalators, there was a huge Tron poster with him posing like this. So everyone who attended the conference got to see Justin Sun and his face on the way out. Absolutely epic. Let's watch this.
Warning. Hackers are shorting crypto.
Record high trend. 100.
So Justin there having a good bit of fun, as you can see, the savior of the crypto universe. Is he implying they're going to do something outrageous here over at Tron? Comparing himself kind of like the strength of the Hulk, the pace of Usain Bolt, and making himself look like a Tony Stark-esque character. But do remember, Tron is defending the crypto frontier with unwavering determination. Let's just check in on some Tron stats here because it's quite interesting. Off the back of that, I just thought I'd do a bit of a search. Tron stablecoin market cap is actually up 0.8% over the last 7 days. As you can see from the red line there, total market cap of stables on there is actually going up quite nicely. If that was happening for the whole of the market, we'd be in a much better position here. And if we move over to the price chart as well, Tron's token price, to be fair, does not look all that bad. That's a pretty decent looking chart. It doesn't move all that much, but it's only roughly 50% off the 2021 highs of around 15-16 cents. It's currently at 8.3 cents. So does His Excellency Justin Sun have a trick up his sleeve to save us from the crypto bear? We'll wait and see. Now, yesterday's FOMC was a bit of a boring one yet again, but there were a few changes that are of interest, and this is the reason why the markets are down a bit today. So the spiel from Jerome at the post-match press conference, same as usual, data dependency, similar kind of questions from the journalists, similar kind of answers, but within the dot plots, there has been a change, and quite a substantial one as well. As Darius Dale breaks down here, he says the Fed's fresh higher for longer signaling was both higher, plus 50 bips to the 2024 and 2025 dot plots, and longer, still well above neutral in 2026 than markets had anticipated. We're not sure why markets were so surprised, given how clear it was to us at 42 Macro that the Fed needed to dramatically revise all aspects of the SEP in a hawkish manner to account for the resilient US economy. He says what matters today is how asset markets are interpreting the signals. So the signals are a bit more hawkish than many were expecting, and clearly the markets were expecting, hence things are in the red today. S&P futures down, NASDAQ futures down, BTC down. Also, TLDR here from Zero Hedge in 2024, there is a rise to 5.1% from 4.6% for the median rate forecast. As he says, this is hawkish down there. If anybody cares, the Bank of England in the last 30 minutes have just announced their first pause after 14 consecutive hikes in a row. So rates staying the same in the UK for the first time, kind of a copycat of what the US has done. Then this is quite interesting from Wells Fargo, the bank. The FOMC statement was in line. The credit calendar is winding down. The IPO calendar is heating up and the pre-announcement season has been fairly benign. All this sets up for a run to 4,600 on the SPX in their view. So if we just go to the SPX over here, you can see it's currently at 4402. 4600 takes it back to the top of the range here, the peak at the end of July of this summer. So Wells Fargo there are anticipating a pump back to the range highs. Quite interesting considering what we're seeing and the initial move. The initial move is down, but you can kind of see that the overall momentum is up for the market more generally. So maybe this is a case of the markets digesting the new data here, and then we can continue on in the same trajectory, which is slightly up, just grinding our way higher. It's worth also noting on here as well, the DXY, previously we're putting in lower highs, but now we've broken back above this level. As you can see, it is on a upward march, 105.5. Good reaction from the DXY yesterday for dollar holders. That of course would be bearish risk if we have the standard correlation as expected. Now the final headline for today is around Mt GOX actually holding back coins. So we know they hold in the region of 146,000 BTC. These were stolen over 10 years ago. Around 20% of the stolen funds recovered in total. But now it says they're pushing the repayment deadline by a year again, which is kind of outrageous. But I guess this is expected at this point in time. And probably people are thinking, will we ever get our funds back? Now, this is the sum total of the CoinDesk story here. Pretty short and sweet. Says story continues below, but it does not. So the main info, it says they're going to be pushing back the date from October 31st, 2023. A big grey cloud over the industry, apparently. People saying Mt GOX selling is coming. Be bearish, but now this has been pushed back to October 31st of 2024, so an additional 12 months. So if we skip on past the CoinDesk very short article there, you can see this is from the excerpt of the letter. You can see they highlight the date change from the 2023 deadline now to October 31st, 2024. However, it does state down here, for rehabilitation creditors who have provided the rehabilitation trustee with the necessary information, repayments will be made in sequence as early as the end of this year. So for those who actually filled out the forms correctly, it seems like coins could be on the way to them by the end of this year if this is actually to be relied upon. So what I'm actually getting from this is there's probably less of an impact here from Mt GOX in the short term. There's probably a trickle coming by the end of this year. So the Mt GOX doomsdayers can say, yep, there's still going to be coins hitting the market, but clearly it's going to be less than the full amount. And we can actually revise that back to October 2024 post-halving. So one of the grey clouds over crypto, we just count out the main three here: Mt GOX coins, Binance DOJ, and of course the ever-present Tether FUD. We are slowly but surely seeing that the major FUDs that surround the market are one by one are becoming slightly less important. Binance seemingly holding their own, the Tether FUD seemingly going away. They're one of the largest holders of US Treasury bills. I'm sure the US doesn't want to nuke them. And we can see the Mt GOX coins here going to be a trickle-down effect rather than a huge impact by the end of this year. Potentially the majority of the impact comes in a year from now, so maybe some breathing space. But we'll leave things off there. Total crypto market cap, as you can see, just above, slowly but surely grinding its way sideways. No major changes here, and maybe this is just a small road bump. But I'm confident in saying we have brighter days ahead of us, and the worst is most likely behind us at this point. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Peace.